thumbs up in the chat if we got audio. We are good. Well, welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Week 5 recap show. A little later than expected. We got a long road trip on Friday night. Guys were exhausted. Just went home, got some rest. Wanted to make sure I was prepared, ready to go here on Sunday because I knew I was going to be doing the show by myself. Gary is still at Talladega right now enjoying the races up there, so hope you enjoy yourself, my man. I will see you real soon, and we'll get back to regular routine next Friday night. I want to thank everyone for being here with us. I know NFL football's going on, but it's never too late in the weekend to talk a little high school football. In Week 5, we had a lot to talk about, and before we even got to the games, we had breaking news that hit headlines all across the state, and John F. Kennedy had to forfeit 3 games before that game even kicked off. The games kicked off Friday night. 3 games, ineligible players. Man, what headlines we will have to talk about on Wednesday. So keep that in mind before we even had the games that happened on Friday. Big news around the state of Louisiana hit. But speaking of the games, Thursday we had a plethora of games that we could talk about. Friday, outstanding matchups. Homecomings were spoiled. Homecomings were oh so sweet. And to cap it off on Saturday, we had some good ones. And then one that did not live up to the hype that everyone built around it. And you think to yourself, well, Carr's just leagues over everyone at this moment. We're going to talk games of the night, or games of the week, I guess you can say, because Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we got a lot to choose from with games of the week. We had some upsets across the state of Louisiana. Yes, we did. And then UTL statement wins of the week. Who's going to get them this week? And then we're going to give out some helmet stickers at the very end. We'll preview Week 6. Week 6 is loaded with some matchups. It's hard to believe that we're already at the halfway point and we are advancing to Week 6. Time to start looking at some rankings, ladies and gentlemen. Keep a close eye out on those rankings moving forward. The rest of the way, they mean something, and you'll know, hey, I'm on the bubble. Hey, I'm on the verge of hosting. Hey, I'm on the verge of getting a bye. So a lot to play for, a lot to look at these next coming weeks. I want to thank everyone for being here with us. My name is Jordan Taylor. I am live from Gary Swallow's Taekwondo Martial Arts building here in Opelousas, Louisiana. A lot to get to. Hit the like, hit the share. Not going to be our biggest crowd here because it's usually Friday night. Everyone's excited about the ball games. But a little Sunday edition of the recap show. Did not want to go the rest of the weekend without talking a little high school football for everyone that enjoys the recap shows. If you had a big winner this week, ladies and gentlemen, shout them out in the comments. We would love to hear from you. I have everything ready to read out some comments here. Keep us interested, keep us going here. Sam Bacon says, if you smell what the Baconator is cooking, and yes, indeed, Basile goes on the road, gets a huge win, and it seems like Basile has found their stride, and they have been playing really good football here as of late. Staub is in the chat. Well, the one-man game, you gotta get it how you live, my man. Staub live from the Mississippi River. Sam Bacon watching a little NFL football, a little recap show here on the grill. So if you did have some winners across the state of Louisiana, shout them out right now. Mr. Casey Horton says Union Parish over Homer. Yes, I think now Union Parish, after they got through the grueling 9-district slate. I think those guys roll, and they're going to be scary moving forward. Union Parish always plays a tough 9-district schedule. They get into the playoffs, and it seems like they play their best ball as of late. Mr. Chris West says, how about them Blue Jays? Absolutely. Got a lot to talk about tonight about the Blue Jays. Big win for St. Ed's Friday night. What a win for that program. You want to be the champ, you got to go take out the champ, and that's exactly what they did. Caboose and Burgers, he's asking, what's up going on? Let's see. Miss Krista Seymour says, let's go Iota Bulldogs. Y'all had a fantastic ball game over there at Battling Bear Stadium. Let's see, Iota knocked off Church Point, and always a classic when those two teams meet up in district play. Let's see, Corey Diaz. Well, look who it is. One-man gang here. I had to come on and talk about the Blue Jays here this evening. Who's watching NFL football when we have a shot to talk about the St. Ed's Blue Jays with their big win Friday night on the road? What else? Keep letting them fly in. We got a lot of games we're going to talk about here tonight. Remember, I'm by myself, so I do not have anybody to feed off with. Gary Swallow is in Talladega watching watching the races today. So bear with me. We're going to get through it this evening. Shout them out. More of winners on Thursday and Friday. I got to see a couple, yes, from Dega in 17 minutes. I got to see some fantastic ball games Thursday night and Friday night. I want to thank the head football coaches and the administration for their hospitality over there at Mamu High School. What a game that was on Thursday night, back and forth. That was a really good ball game for our first time there. So thank you to those guys. Great hospitality, great friendship to the program. And then Friday, everything you can want and more for our road trip down to Logansport, Louisiana. Kinder Booster Club made that happen. Thank you again to those guys, and the facility, top notch, a 10 out of 10. And definitely, we'll be back in the near future over there. The game for 3.5 quarters, my God, what a game it was. Kinder pulled away late, but two good teams going at it. Great, well-coached football teams. It was everything I wanted and more to make a road trip up there and see everything. And I'm blessed, very blessed when you get off the highway and you see your name on the Jumbotron over there. Blessed, and I can't wait to see what's in store the rest of the season, because of what an awesome moment that was. Any more shout-outs? Anyone want to shout out their favorite team? Got a big win this week. While we do that, how about some scores from around the state of Louisiana that we did not cover on Wednesday night? So these games might have should have made it to the pick show because of how good they actually were. Troy Hebert, ring the bell and ring it twice, because Vermilion Catholic, the Screaming Eagles, they're right back to where they were a year ago. Stinking good, my friend. Really good. Landon Guillory, Welsh, and Eunice game. Greyhounds, they seem like they found their winning ways these last 2 weeks, and they're ready to roll. Watch out for the Greyhounds moving forward. I wouldn't want to play them right now. What else we got? Keep letting them fly in. Some scores from around the state of Louisiana that we did not cover on Wednesday night, but I just had to talk about here this evening. Jonesboro Hodge gets a 16-14 win over Arcadia. Springfield knocks off Central Private 19-15. General Trask knocks off Bastrop 12-6. Lakeside and Montgomery, that was a 26-22 victory for Lakeside. North DeSoto avoids a scare with Booker T. Washington 20-14. Bossier knocks off Southwood 16-14. The streak continues another week. They're going to break it this year. I got a really good feeling Southwood will break that streak this year. Lakeshore moves to 5-0 after a 31-26 victory over Salmon. Right down the road from where we were covering our game this past Friday, Mansfield was in an instant classic theirself. How about a double overtime victory over North Caddo, 52-44. We almost had enough time to finish up our game at Logansport. go 10 minutes up the road and go finish that one in overtime. That's how good that ball game was. So good win there. 2 overtimes it took. How about the Squirrel Bowl? Buckeye and Holy Savior Menor, that one lived up to the hype. 27-20 victory for Buckeye. Big win for the Squirrel Bowl there. Wasserman and Carroll, always a great rivalry when these two teams clash, and the score reflects the great rivalry. Wasserman beats Carroll 20-15. Great ball game, and those two teams, a great rivalry, and I can't wait to see them play for years to come. John F. Kennedy and John Ehret, this one surprised me a little bit on Thursday night. 7-0 victory, coming off all the controversy news that hit the headline, the airwaves. 7-0. Expected that offense to put up a lot more points as they've done the first 4 weeks, but Ehret makes it a 7-0 ball game. Keeps it a 7-0 ball game, I should say. So Kennedy, well, I think that's their second win of the season after those 3 wins were forfeited. So somebody correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but 7-0, great ball game. Two good defenses went at it. How about another overtime thriller? Franklinton on Thursday night knocked off undefeated Jules Sumner 42-39 in overtime. Franklinton, don't sleep on them, ladies and gentlemen. Good ball club. Tara McKinley, defensive battle. 8-0 Tara with the victory. Pearl River knocks off Chalmette 14-7. Huntington and Evangel was in a classic. 28-27. The E goes down again. This time Huntington clips them. And then Hawkton, Natchitoches Central. That was a 28-25 victory for Hawkton. East Ascension, Coach Mathern gets a win over Live Oak, 18-14. Some games we did not cover on Wednesday. We should have because of some of these scores. Great ball games across the state of Louisiana. They deserve recognition, so I'm going to read them out to you. So great wins, even better ball games. What else we got going on in the chat this evening? Katrina LaForge says, how about them Kinder High School Yellow Jackets? Phenomenal. They played 4 quarters of football. Well-coached football team. Can't wait to see them again down the road. And the LaForge boy had himself a sensational ball game. I forget his number, but I called his name quite a few times on Friday nights. What else they have here? Landon says Cecilia beat Notre Dame in a shootout. Not sure if Diesel played, but if he didn't play, that speaks volumes to what they have around that team, that they can really rally and get a big win on the road. He might have played, though. Not sure. Let us know. But Cecilia with a big victory shows that they got a supporting cast that can really get it done. Coach Isaac says, what's up, Jay? What's up, my man? Thank y'all for the hospitality Thursday night. Bam was phenomenal on the halftime show. Guys were gracious enough to let us come for the very first time. It definitely won't be the last time. And the game lived up to the hype. It came down to an onside kick. Everything you could want and more. What's going on? Stobb says his number is 18. So Mr. LaForge's number is 18. Yes, indeed. Stobb says tough sledding for Westgate and Destrehan last couple of weeks. Injuries have really piled up for a lot of teams throughout the state of Louisiana, especially Westgate, losing some big-time pieces, and it showed on Friday night. Hayden Lazar says, if we could play our second half football all game, every game, we might be undefeated. Central Baton Rouge is the real deal, absolutely real deal, but it speaks volumes. With all the chaos that went on at LCA, to make that a one-score game, speaks volumes to what Coach Kraft and Coach Stafford did to rally those guys and to go in and play a tough Central Ball Club this past Friday. Landon Gillard says ERAF beat Westlake 21-20, and Diesel did play. So just a shootout for the ages right there. That senior-led group for Notre Dame gave them everything they could want and more. ERAF with a big victory over undefeated Westlake, absolutely. So that was some scores. We got a lot of comments flying in. Keep shouting out your favorite teams, ladies and gentlemen. we'll go through the games that we had on Wednesday night, and we'll talk about them. And remember, by myself, so bear with me here. Love to hear from everyone in the chat right now. Let's have a great conversation this evening. We start off with Thursday football. Crawley and Mamou is where Under the Lights was, and that one right there, Crawley came in 3-1. Mamou came in 1-3, but did play a tough schedule. And I'm going to get back to the comments as soon as I finish Thursday's slate. But they did play a tough schedule, and Crawley, they got 3 or 4 backs that can really go. Big offensive line and in the trenches. They are huge. Mamou, they fought all 4 quarters. This game came down to an onside kick and recovered by Crawley. Crawley, I'm not sure how long it's been, but I'm sure they're feeling really, really good right now. 4-1. The Gents have something cooking over there in Crawley, Louisiana, and I'm not talking about the rice capital of the world. They're not cooking rice. The Gents are on the football field, and they are playing their best football here early. Does not get easier moving forward. They got a date next week with Iota, but when you're playing with major confidence right now, you never know what could happen. And Mamou, keep playing hard, keep your heads up, because I've seen a lot of heart on that field Thursday night. They're moving in the right direction. They got the right coaching staff around them to make this Mamou team that we will see for years to come. Next week, Mamou, I believe, is homecoming week, so we'll see the Green Demons if they can get back in the win column, but a grueling schedule, to say the least. Moving along here, Northwest Raiders gets back in their winning ways over a win over Pine Prairie, 54-7. Congratulations to the Raiders. Now they move their attention to the rest of the district. DeQuincy and Grand Lake, Chaston called him a defensive slugfest here. It came down to a field goal decider, 10-7. It's good to have special teams in high school football, ladies and gentlemen, because look on Thursday night. When 2 good defenses are going at it, the game was decided by 3 points, and DeQuincy, for the first time since 1980-something, I'm not sure the exact number, but 1980-something, or 5-0, and next Thursday night, boy, oh boy, a 5-0 DeQuincy welcomes in a 4-1 ERAF. That is fireworks. That is popcorn worthy, and I can't wait to see them two clash next Thursday. Grand Lake's going to be just fine. They're 2-2 right now. Some tough losses the last couple weeks with Oakdale. That was a pick 6 late that really flipped that game on the head, and then a 10-7 loss here. Grand Lake's going to be fine, and they're a threat in that district moving forward. Westminster and Sacred Heart. At one time, I believe this was a 24-10 ball game, and the Trojans had a big lead. But a resilient Crusader ball club, well-coached ball club here. They never panicked. They never wavered. And they just kept fighting for 48 minutes, and they pushed all the way back, came back, and had the go-ahead score late, and defense gets a big stop. How about the Crusaders, ladies and gentlemen? 31-24 victory. What a win for Coach Porter's ball club. And moving forward, you better not sleep on Westminster. Jennings and DeRidder, besides the one loss for Jennings early in the season, they were 2 touchdowns called back there from penalties in week 1 from a tie ball game in the 4th quarter. So that one loss there in their column, you know they're still a good ball club. And on Thursday night, they went prove it once again. They went on the road. They played the Dragons over there in DeRidder, and this one was close early, but not so late. Too much Zeno late. Jennings Bulldogs, 42-21 victory, setting up a huge showdown next week with Lake Charles College Prep. It could decide the district title. Can't wait to see those 2 teams clash. That's going to be a barn burner. Oak Grove, no problems there with Delhi Charter. It seems like after the week 1 loss, they might run the table here the rest of the way. They're trying to do something that only few have done, and I think it's 3-peat, 4-peat. So they're trying to get into that column of history there. And Oak Grove, their talented ball club, Coach Ryan Gregory has his guys trying to go out with this senior class on top one more time. 57-12 Oak Grove. Really good. Really balanced football team there. Episcopal Ascension Catholic. This was a good ball game on Thursday night. Ascension and Catholic. Coach Narcisse has his guys playing really good football. I think it's Lindsay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Lindsay or something in that close to that nature. The running back for Ascension and Catholic. In Division 4 wise, man, you can put him up in the top of talented running backs in the state of Louisiana and the smaller classification. Episcopal 4-0 coming in, had to go on the road, hostile environment. Ascension Catholic escapes, wins a great ball game, 14-7. Ascension Catholic moving forward. I wouldn't sleep on them either because they could really ruffle some feathers and they can really make a run at the Dome this year. Sam Houston and Lafayette. This was Holly's Lock of the Week, and Holly's Lock of the Week, this one almost was in jeopardy on Thursday night. Lafayette gave Sam Houston everything they could want and more. What a ball game on Thursday night. Lafayette almost knocks off Sam Houston, but Sam Houston improves to 4-1 with a 41-34. Holly's Lock of the Week. Big scare in week 4. And then Parkway and Bird. This one right here, battle of the undefeateds. Parkway, backup quarterback into the game. The original quarterback was out with an injury. You know they're coming off of a big-time Russian attack in week 4. And could they have enough at home? Well, Dirty Red, ladies and gentlemen, might crack the top 10 next week after a big 46-35 victory over a previous undefeated Bird. Two good teams, great battle, great football in North Louisiana. Congratulations to Parkway. Dirty Red, 5-0. And then we also have another one. How about Coach Curtis's Southside Sharks welcome in a red-hot Barb team after they came in. Big wins as of late. Coach Curtis's Southside Sharks, you might as well say fear to defend, and you might as well say Southside, huge threat in that district right now to go make a run for the district title after the way they've played here as of late. They go and dominate 31-14 at home. They're 3-1 now, and the Southside Sharks could give Acadiana a run for that district title. If I know Coach Curtis, he'll have his guys geared up, ready to go make a run at this district title. Congratulations, Sharks. Happy homecoming, and what a win on Thursday night for the Southside Sharks. That was a look at Thursday night. Let's take a look at the chat at this time. What else we got? Cam says, I'll say this, Jordy, playing at Church Point is like a horror movie. Dogs will, with a hard fart, win this week. Church Point, Iota, what a great rivalry that has been the last couple years. We saw it last year, week 10, and turned around, played in round 1. But every year it seems like they have a matchup in the regular season in district play that we're talking about. And we continue to talk about for years to come because it's always classics when these two teams meet inside the lines. That is Simon says LCA. After all the controversy that went on, they rallied together and they gave Central Baton Rouge a really good ball game. Only lost by 1 score. Brandon Reshore, Acadiana Rams. Defense is tough. Yes, last 3 weeks pitching shutouts. They are the favorite in the district right now, but Southside seems like they come and make it a game for the district title. Landon Giller, how about those Jennings Bulldogs? Absolutely. They're rolling at the moment, and they're setting up a district title game, in my opinion, next week. Whips Prince says, let's go, gents. I'm sure that was a great feeling on Thursday night, giving away Player of the Game honors to one of your, because you're alumni at Crowley, and you sponsor Player of the Game honors, so I'm sure that was a great feeling getting that award to a fellow gent. Hayden says that Westminster game was electric. Absolutely. We watched it upstairs, and that one was a great comeback and a great finish to that one. Sam says, you need a UTL shirt. Absolutely. We need to get out some merchandise because everyone asks for hats. Everyone asks for shirts, and we're not doing a good job on our end, and I apologize for that. We need to start getting some gear out to all the fans, the loyal fans out there for sure. Hayden says he doesn't think Southside has a defense to fight against Acadiana. Should be two good teams going into the trenches. May the best trenches win on that one. Miles Miller says, let's go Big Dogs. Devin Staub says, B+ Brogy is watching. And Amy Romero says, keep rolling Kinder Yellow Jackets, number 11, Noah Romero. What a great ball player he is. Always great to go talk to him after we cover the Kinder games. Pretty much watched him grow up in this program, it feels like, all the way back to the St. Helena playoff game where he was a part of Player of the Game honors that time as a freshman. So, Kinder Yellow Jacks, absolutely, they're playing some really good football at this time. So keep firing them in. I see a lot of people keep hitting the like and shares. Back to regular routine next week whenever Gary Swallow gets back from Talladega. I'm very close to finalizing my week 6 schedule. Very close to finalizing my week 6 schedule. I will post that probably later on this evening. Andre Vest says, let's go Jackets. Happy homecoming Iowa. So I'm very close to finalizing week 6 schedule. Probably will have those 2 games posted tonight. So keep an eye out on those 2 games. New places. That's all I'm going to say. Some new places that we're going to. Enoch Brogan says, what a great week for football. Covered 2 close games and got a fair few stunners around the state. Absolutely. And majority of some homecomings were enjoyed and some of them spoiled. Let's talk Friday then. Kinder and Logansport, the game that we got to cover. We talked about the road trip there. We want to thank the Booster Club for making that possible. Hospitality A+, football stadium, the facility, top notch. Everything you can want for at the midway point of just to get you excited to finish off the season strong. Logansport, we'll see you again before the season's over. Absolutely. Kinder, they're playing the best football right now. After the loss to Iota, it seems like it made these guys motivated, and they chose this as a business trip, and business trip indeed. When you got a Logan LaBeouf on your team that can really go finish the game and put it away. He's about as tough nose runner as I've seen in quite some time. Him and Ford this year have been the toughest nose guys I've seen run the football. And if you got him in the fourth quarter and a chance to put the game away, just hand him the football. That offensive line, really good for Kinder. Logansport, they fought for 48 minutes. Not much depth on the team, but you can see the heart, you can see the will. They fought for 48 minutes, and the depth really caught up to them late. A big special teams touchdown in that one really flipped the game on his head. 73 will have that memory for the rest of his life on that block punt for a touchdown. So it's a big time plays, a big time football game, and I'm still in awe of what I witnessed on Friday night. So congratulations, Kinder Logansport. Definitely can't wait to see what you guys do moving forward. Hayden says, wish Lafayette Renaissance would let us broadcast the LCA versus Lafayette Renaissance game. So it looks like Night Vision Television will not be at the game next week. So we'll have to keep updates in the chat for that one. Daniel Scully says, what's up, brother? What's up, my man? Talking a little football here. And Katrina says, go Jackets, keep grinding, number 18. Always love calling Kinder football games. They really gave us a platform in the playoffs back in 2020, Bazille gave us a shot early. Kinder really jumped on board and prevailed us all the way to the state championship, and the rest is history. Here we are 6 years later. South Bow went into Port Barre and spoiled a homecoming 49-15 victory. So South Bow, after getting shut out a week ago, they go on the road and they win 49-15. It's still happy homecoming, Red Devils. Happy 10-year reunion to class of 2014, the class that I graduated in. And Port Barre, keep your heads up. I know injuries have piled up, but the best is yet to come with the Red Devils. They have the right man in charge over there with Coach Angel. South Bow 4-1. They got a big one next week at the Yellow Jackets. 2 4-1s battling out. Watch out. That's going to be something. And it is Military Appreciation Night next week at Kinder High School on a Thursday night. So wear your red, white, and blue, I believe I was told, on Friday night. Edna Karr and St. Aug, boy, was this the talk of the state last week. I say last week, we're still in this week. Wasn't this the talk of the state this past week? This game was Saturday Night Live on the LHSAA Network. Edna Karr seems like they're levels above of everyone else right now. Their offense is really good. Their front seven is phenomenal. And Coach Brown has his team thinking dome at this time. A long layoff from the Superdome. Have not been there since before the 2020 season, because 2020 they went play in Natchitoches, but it seems like Edna Karr is really, really good, and it seems like Mission Superdome this year, and I think they got the team to get there. It will be a grueling playoff bracket in Division I Select, but who's playing better football right now in Division I Select than they are? So, Edna Karr. Statement win 34-13 over St. Aug. Cougars. I guess you could say they're back. I mean, they never left, but they have dome and they have bigger things on their mind down the road. Zachary and Opelousas, this was a defensive showdown to say the least for 2 quarters. It was 0-0 at halftime. Zachary and OHS giving Zachary everything they wanted and more on the road. And it shows you what type of defense Opelousas has. Back-to-back weeks. Back-to-back weeks, they are in really good ball games against really good teams. But Zachary would pull away late, 24-6. Zachary Broncos gets a big win at home. Saw some pictures and some videos. My God, are they huge up front. Broncos, coached by Coach David Brewerton, they're going to be just fine moving forward. Their only loss so far this season is to Acadiana. I would not put Zachary in the rearview mirrors. They could very well find their way getting back to the dome. OHS, the grueling schedule pretty much is complete. I think after this, I think they're battle tested. I think they're ready to go make a run to try to go repeat. So I'm not worried about Opelousas right now moving forward. As long as they stay healthy, they're a clear favorite in Division II non-select. Daniel Scully says Turlington Karr would be a heck of a game. 2 good teams for sure. Who knows who's coming out of that Division I select bracket. May the best team come out. May the best 2 teams come out, because whoever comes out at the end of it is going to earn it. That bracket would definitely be earned. Absolutely. What else we got? Speaking of Division I select bracket, Brother Martin and Archbishop Rummel met on Friday night. Rummel came in red hot, 4-0 out the gates. We thought to ourselves, okay, this Rummel team, they look state championship good. And Brother Martin really came in after the loss to Jesuit. Seems like they corrected what they needed to correct. They came in and got a big, big win over Rummel, 17-13. You want to talk about 2 good coaching staffs going at it, and Brother Martin edges a really good Rummel, 17-13. You could very well see this one again down the road when these two teams meet in Division I select bracket. You could see it again. You could see it early, you could see it late, or you could very well see it in the Superdome. Says Iowa Yellow Jackets, new lights this weekend, new scoreboard next weekend. Well, congratulations to the Iowa. Big things are in store over there. What else we got? St. Paul's and ULab, University Lab, have phenomenal defense over there, led by Mr. Moses himself. The Cubs seem like they're pushing to be the favorite in Division II Select with a big win over St. Paul's, 29-12. Seems like they're starting to separate themselves. Could we see a ULab Archbishop Shaw maybe semifinal state championship game? Right now, that is my two favorites to get out of that bracket right now because of the way they play ball as of late. University Lab, 4-1, scary, good. St. Thomas More, grueling schedule to start the season. Westgate, also grueling schedule to start the season, but Westgate takes a big time injuries leading up to this game. So 48-6, no surprise here. Thought this one could get out of hand with the injuries that piled up with Westgate. St. Thomas More, 48-6. This win right here could prevail them the rest of the way to get things in cruise control. They got some tough games moving forward. They got a Turlings down the road that could decide that district title game. So Cougars get a big win. That could prevail them to get right back on track. But 48-6, hopefully Westgate can get some of those guys back sooner than later. Prayers are with those guys at this time for speedy recoveries. Cougars get a big win, 48-6. Mona Fruge says, way to go Blue Jays. Yes, indeed, way to go Blue Jays. Win on the road, big time win. What else we have? Central Baton Rouge, LCA. We talked about this one. Speaks volumes to Coach Stafford and Coach Mitch for what they did to rally the team. Central Baton Rouge is 5-0, and 5-0 is, how you say that? Whenever he said they were speaking good in the chat, I think they're really good, and I think at 5-0 Central Baton Rouge team, them and Catholic Baton Rouge gearing up, them and Zachary gearing up. So we're gonna find out exactly what we need to know once district play gets here for Central Baton Rouge. But right now, Central Baton Rouge 5-0, and I'm putting my cards in. I'm pushing my cards in the middle of the table for Coach David Semino's Central Baton Rouge team. What else say? Coach Shopper still giving us hell from Friday night. He says, way I see it, Shooter, is we've only just begun. Yes, I was a little skeptical for the schedules. I thought OC played a tougher schedule, and I leaned that way because it was homecoming week. But that's why you play the game. And if you want to be the champion, you got to go knock off the champion, and what a better way to do it than doing it on the road. So, Shaver, leave me alone. I'm only human. Hayden says they are as advertised. Yes, indeed, they are, and they got a heck of a football coach over there. He's only won everywhere he's been. He's brought Catholic Appointed Pete to the Dome. He's brought Catholic of Baton Rouge to the Dome. It's only a matter of time before Central starts to walk on the carpet. Cecilia and Notre Dame, they were in an instant classic shootout here. I was told Cecilia struggles to stop the run, and Notre Dame, what are they going to do? They're going to go power run. They're going to run it right at you. Cecilia behind Diesel Solari and the rest of the group edges Notre Dame on the road, 50-46. Seems like you're going to have to outscore Cecilia this year because they're going to lean on their offense, and they're going to lean on them a pretty good portion here. 50-46, big win for Cecilia. And Notre Dame, 3 straight losses right now. No time to hit the panic button right now as district play begins. Them and LCA seem like they're on the collision course in a couple weeks. That one right there could decide the district title unless Lafayette Renaissance has something to say about it. We'll see. LCA Lafayette Renaissance this week. We'll see who wins that one. But right now, Notre Dame LCA collision course in the making. John Curtis, Warren Easton, 26-7. John Curtis. Seems like Warren Easton may be a little down this year, maybe a young group, but John Curtis finds the win column after a defensive struggle a week ago. Whenever two good defenses went at it, John Curtis and Rummel. This week, no problems. They cruised to a 26-7 victory to get their second win of the season. Franklin Parish 4-0. They were the talk of the state, but the talk really maneuvered to, could they go knock off a 5A Ouachita Parish ball club that were playing their best football after the early loss of the season. Coach Benji Lewis, you had to think to yourself, they had this one circled all weekend. They were going to do whatever it took to get out at home with a big win, and what a big win it was. It came down to a 4-point victory. It came down to a shootout, and it came down to who wanted it more. And Coach Benji Lewis's Ouachita Parish's ball club gets a big-time win over previously undefeated Franklin Parish, 51-47. What a ball game that must have been, and congratulations, Coach Lewis. 4th win of the season, really turned that program around, and they got a big one next week. You're 4-1 right now, but Ruston awaits. Wow, what a game that's going to be. 4-1, 5-0 Ruston next week. And then Airline and Captain Shreve, we're going to stick up north because Gary Swallow made a really good point on Wednesday night. He said this one could wind up in the 70s. You missed it by 1 point, my man. Airline. I said it all year long. I said as long as you're 1 point better than the opposing team, no matter if you beat them by 1 point, no matter if you beat them by 100 points, no matter if you blow them out, don't matter if you squeak by with a win, if you beat them 69-68, or if you beat them 3-2, it doesn't matter. Airline, behind a 7-touchdown performance from quarterback sensation Ben Taylor. You want to beat Airline this year? You better outscore them, because this offense doesn't seem like they're slowing down anytime soon. As long as you're 1 point better on any given Friday, I don't care what the score is. And the score this week, 69-68. Airline is 5-0, and they're not leaving my top 10, Daniel Scully. Remember it. We talked about it on Wednesday. Until somebody beats them, they're not leaving the top 10. Airline outscores another team once again. They're 5-0. 7-touchdown performance, Ben Taylor. You want to beat them, outscore them, and good luck. Even 68 points wasn't good enough this week. How about a statement win, and we go across the state in the other direction. Lutcher and Vanderbilt Catholic met on Friday, and Lutcher gets their 4th win of the season, knocking off previously undefeated Vanderbilt Catholic 33-0. How about those Bulldogs from Lutcher? A quiet 4-0. A quiet 4-0. Nobody's talking about Lutcher right now, but they better start talking soon, because Lutcher looks like they have Dome on their mind this year. They got a good group that returns, fantastic football coach, and a statement win from Friday night, 33-0. What a win for the Lutcher Bulldogs. The question is, can Ben Taylor break the record? If he keeps putting up 7 touchdowns a night, you could break the record before the season's over with. Denham Springs welcome in state champion Southern Lab Friday night, and we talked about it on Wednesday night, 1A versus 5A. Would they have enough in the arsenal to go knock off Denham Springs? We thought the depth could really catch up here, and it seems like it did. Denham Springs were behind that talented running back core that they have over there. Really paved the way to a 38-12 victory. Southern Lab's going to be just fine. Good power points from this one. Go and play a Denham Springs ball club that's going to win a lot of ball games. But Denham Springs 4-1. Keep it up. for Denham Springs, a couple walk-off victories from field goals, and this week they get it going with their offense, and they've cruised on Friday night. Damian Gaspar says, go Lafayette Renaissance Tigers. Big one on Friday night. You could send the state on notice if you knock off LCA at home. Lafayette Renaissance LCA is a district matchup, and Lafayette Renaissance is the home team. Where would that game be played? If I would like to ask, where would that game be played? Even though it's Lafayette Renaissance's home game, is it going to be at Clark Field? Because if so, that's going to be a standing room only type of environment. Kentwood A-Meet live on the Hashed Out Show Game of the Week. I went back and looked at that one last night just to see how that one finished. 28-25. Had to be a classic of a finish. And my friends got to call a good one over there. Warriors knock off the Kangaroos. 28-25. This game came down to 8 seconds remaining. Kentwood had the ball, elected to not go for the game-tying field goal. They went for the win. They throw one into the end zone. Pass is knocked down for it was fourth down, 8 seconds, I believe it was, and the pass was knocked down. And A-Meet escapes with a 28-25 victory. They jumped up 14-0. And Kentwood came storming right back. So what a phenomenal football game this was. It's always a phenomenal football game. And Hashed Out Show had a great one to call on Friday night. I'm sure those guys are going to talk plenty on Tuesday about this one. So 28-25, A-Meet with a big victory. Came down to the final play of the game. Let's see. Yes, Lafayette Renaissance will be scary next year, with how many people they got coming back. Kentwood is in Division 4 non-select. If so, I don't see anyone beating them. Let's see. I'll let you know in a second who I think could give them problems, and then we'll get back to these games. Now that Oak Grove is out of the picture, you don't have many teams that could give Kentwood a problem. I would say South Plaquemines might match up well with them. What do we know about Faraday right now? They're 5-0, but what do we know? Can they match up with them? I don't even see Kentwood in Division 4. Kentwood is not in Division 4 non-select. They're in Division 4 select. So they're in the same classification with VC, AC, Ouachita Christian, St. Ed's Catholic, and all them guys. So they are actually not in Division 4 non-select, so they are in that Division 4 select bracket. That makes that bracket a lot more difficult. Vermilion Catholic went on the road to take on Riverside. We said this was a Lasty versus Dortez type of night. Who would have the bigger game? Who would stop who? And on Friday night, Vermilion Catholic, Mr. Dortez, that quarterback, would break school records on the road. This was a semi-final rematch of a year ago when Riverside came in and knocked off Vermilion Catholic. If I know Coach Prejean, he had this one circled on the calendar and put it in the locker room for everyone to see it this week. And They went on the road, handled business, and Vermilion Catholic 5-0. I was told this week that they're not that good, and I told someone, you're crazy as hell. I said the Screaming Eagles are going to ring the bell a lot this year. I'm all on board. Vermilion Catholic 49-34 with a big win in a record-breaking night. 49-34, ring the dang bell, and you're going to ring it a lot more this year. Dominating Riverside was not something you anticipated. I thought they could win, but a record-breaking night, yes, sir. Screaming Eagles are the real deal, and you know what they have on their mind, because this senior class is a special senior class. They've had a lot of ball games won in their 4 years here. So, when you talked about Kentwood in that bracket just now, you can add Vermilion Catholic also in that bracket. That's going to be a fun playoffs when it gets here. St. Ed's and Opelousas Catholic met on Friday. It was the battle of the undefeateds. It was homecoming night at Opelousas Catholic. I said on Wednesday, this was going to come down to Kane West versus Cross Gillen. Who would make a big-time throw late in this ball game? I was leaning towards Opelousas Catholic. Got to eat my words here on the panel tonight. St. Ed's. If you want to beat the champ, you got to go beat the champ. And they went beat the champ on homecoming night. On the road in front of a hostile environment. As you know, both teams probably packed out the stadium. An instant classic and a game that they will be talking about for years to come. Shiver got his guys to go win the big one. And this speaks volumes. They may run the table the rest of the way. Could we see St. Ed's 10-0 at the end of the year? Very, very possible. Final score. St. Ed's 46. Opelousas Catholic 42. What a night for the Blue Jays. What a win. And I'm sure the party is still going on over there in Eunice right now. They get ready for the rest of district play, but a well-earned win. Congratulations, my friend. And y'all, I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Absolutely. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Pope John Paul, St. Martin's Episcopal, behind Harlan Berry and the talented St. Martin's Episcopals. I thought on Wednesday night that Pope John Paul had a chance here to win this one at home. I thought they had a shot. I think I was the only one that picked them. And exactly, I was. So, good win for myself. Pope John Paul gets a 28-21 victory. They're 5-0, and they might crack the top 10 this week. We'll find out on Wednesday when we make our top 10 selections. Congratulations, Pope John Paul. Phenomenal win. Not many people around the state was giving you a shot, but that's why we play the game. 48 minutes, made the best team win. And Pope John Paul got a big-time win. ERAV and Westlake met on Friday night. This one was a back-and-forth contest here, and it came down to a 1-point victory on the road. ERAV Bobcats have played in some sensational ball games this year, some one-score games. They beat Westlake, a previously undefeated Westlake, 21-20. Bobcats moved to 4-1 on the year. You look at their games so far this season, knocking off teams in overtime, winning games by 1 scores, and now winning the game by 1 point. They have found ways to win, and moving forward, seems like them and Kaplan on a collision course for the district title. Can't wait to see when those two heavyweights battle it out. Probably will be for the district title. Sneaky, sneaky good, absolutely. And then next week, ERAV will hit the road and go play an undefeated DeQuincy. Long road trip for the Bobcats, but they know how to win. Those guys know how to win after 5 weeks, and watch out for ERAV. could go into DeQuincy, maybe win another game by one score, or maybe DeQuincy winds up 6-0. Can't wait to see what happens in that one. Destrehan has really taken a back seat this year. Injuries have piled up. Some youth in the program. Terrebonne gets a big-time win, 30-21. D-Stab, when's the last time Terrebonne has beat Destrehan? Because what a victory for Terrebonne at home, 30-21. That district is wide open right now. That one could come down to probably Hahnville might have a shot to win it this year. But when's the last time Terrebonne beat Destrehan? Big time win for Terrebonne. Dutchtown had to climb out of a 14-0 hole to Salmon on Friday night. The Griffins showing why they are a championship caliber team. When you dig yourself a hole to find your way out of it. The Griffins, in front of a great crowd, climb back, win a game, 24-21. Dutchtown is 5-0, and Dutchtown moves forward into try to go win a district title, put themselves in a good seed into the playoffs. I wouldn't sleep on Dutchtown, ladies and gentlemen. Find ways to win, just like ERAF. Find ways to win. Dutchtown's 5-0. St. James got a lot of youth on that team, but a lot of youth is growing up, and they're growing up fast because they have found their way to a 3-1 start. And it's surprising to say that St. Charles Catholic finds themselves at an 0-4 start. I never thought I would see the day that the Comets would be out the gates to an 0-4 start, but it speaks volumes to the competition that they played here early. And if I know the Comets, they may be 0-4 right now, but they could very well make a run to the title game in Division III Select. So I'm not counting out St. Charles just yet, but just unfamiliar territory with the 0-4 start is all indeed. And St. James 3-1 start, overcoming a lot of youth, growing up early, growing up real fast, and out to a great start for St. James. Terrebonne Lions beat Destrehan back in, correct. St. Charles is in Division II Select. My bad. Terrebonne Lions beat Destrehan 2019. Yes, it will be tough on the Comets this year. I forgot about that. They will be tough on them in that bracket. Dutchtown was in the semis last year, yes, and then the game getting moved to Saturday really didn't benefit them. So we'll see. Dutchtown, good ball club. Lake Charles College Prep and Catholic of New Iberia. A 1-4 Lake Charles College Prep after Friday, but probably the best 1-4 team in the entire state with the schedule they played. Catholic of New Iberia, I'll continue to say it. I'm really high on when they get on the dry field. This team right here can beat anybody right now on their schedule, and they move forward with another win. 38-27, Catholic of New Iberia beats Lake Charles College Prep. And Lake Charles College Prep, even though they are 1-4, I think that's a district championship game next week with Jennings, and they're the best 1-4 team I've seen in the state this year from the schedule they played. Catholic of New Iberia moving forward, contender. Landry at quarterback, yes, he is good. Jeff Ledoux says Jackets, woo. Yes, sir. Jackets big win Friday. What else we have here? Southside dominates Barb 31-14. That game was probably one in the trenches right there. Southside Physical Ball Club went down and got it done. Homecoming win for the Sharks, 31-14. Moving forward, I think they're the biggest threat to Acadiana in that district. Iota sneaks by Church Point 23-19. Two good ball clubs went at it. 2 3-1 ball clubs going at it. Respect both coaching staffs of what they've done to their programs in the last 10 years, and we've covered football the last 6, so I respect both programs. Always a great ball game when these two teams play. Just want to say to Coach Oquan, how about them dogs, my friend? Congratulations, 23-19. big, big win. Iota Northwest collision course to the title. I think that game is week 10. What else we got? Love Baker Buffaloes. Right now, Dunham's just on another planet with the sensational quarterback they have. Baker's going to be just fine. Tough. They got 2 tough teams in their district with Dunham and Episcopal, but I think they finished this season 7-3, 8-2 at the to say the least. Dunham 55-7 victory. Dunham throw them in the contender status also. We talked about Catholic Liberia being a contender. We're Dunham right there in the conversation, and you better start talking about this Dunham Ball Club. Chris name right there. Petrie says go Pirates. I'm assuming she's saying go Kaplan Pirates. And Kaplan Pirates the last few weeks have played some really good football. That's a physical ball club, and now we look forward to the district matchups and for the Pirates. Neville, Sterlington, a scare for Neville, but tough to go win at Sterlington. You know they play so well at home. This was a 17 victory for Neville. Who is Neville right now? They go with blowout St. Thomas More, and they go and win by 7 against the Sterlington. Questions will be answered once district play begins. How good this Neville Ball Club really is. You know they got to play the likes of Washita Parish. They got to play the likes of West Monroe, Ruston. So we will see. I still think I'm high on this Neville Ball Club, but a 17-10 ball game here. Maybe it just wasn't their best night of football. Maybe they cruise next week and weeks to come. Still high on them, but 17-10, a lot closer than I expected. Yes, number 90 from Kaplan. Yes. What else we got here? North Iberville, Vinton. This one was close early. Not so close late. North Iberville, happy homecoming. Congratulations to Coach Gast over there. Phenomenal start to the season. 5-0, North Iberville. Who wants to play those guys right now? Because they're playing their best football. Year 1 playing varsity football, and they're out to 5-0 start. North Iberville, watch out for them moving forward. Jeanerette spoils the homecoming party for West St. Mary with a 54-8 victory. Union Parish beats Homer 49-14. Farmers seem like they're fixing to roll after the tough 9-district schedule. Seems like they're fixing to roll the rest of the way. Ascension Episcopal rolled over North Vermilion 50-18. I thought this one could be a lot closer, but Ascension Episcopal 5-0, a quiet 5-0 team that I need to start paying a lot closer attention to. They need to be on my radar, and I promise the rest of the way they are. Kaplan Pirates, Physical Ball Club, and a Veteran Ball Club cruise over Lowerville 40-18. They're 3-1 now, and they seem like they're a heavy favorite for that district title. ERAF, Kaplan down the road. Can't wait to see that ball game. Marksville and Oakdale met on Friday night, and the Tigers of Marksville seem like they finding some confidence in the program to go make a run for this district title. 30-6 victory over Oakdale. They got a big one next week that really could set the tone for a Week 10 showdown if they go knock off Gina at home. Don't sleep on Marksville. They're not out of this district title race. Don't just pencil in Gina and Bunkie just yet for the district title game. They go beat Gina on Friday. Week 10 is shaping up to be a dandy. What else we got? Welsh goes and spoils Eunice's homecoming 39-16. Unfamiliar territory for the Bobcats. Never would I have thought I was seeing Eunice out to an 0-5 start. A lot of youth. They lost a key guy to a season-ending injury, so prayers for him at this time. Welsh, back-to-back weeks. They found something in the last couple of weeks. Shut out South Bow and routed Eunice. Greyhounds head into district play and playing their best football right now. Speaking of Bunkie, No problems with Winfield, 50-14. Happy homecoming to the Bunkie Panthers. District play, we just talked about it with Marksville. Everyone has Bunkie Gina penciled in, but I think to myself, Week 10 could be your district title game, and I think Bunkie rolls to a 9-0 start, could set up a district title game in Week 10. But that's just me hoping to cover a district title game down the road. But for right now, Bunkie, they look untouchable, and they look like they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And that ball club is absolutely loaded. And Coach Hillman, phenomenal job, my man. Out to a 5-0 start. Peabody knocks off Washington Marion 37-12. Happy homecoming to the War Horses. One of the best homecoming environments I've ever got to witness in high school football. Peabody looks like a mini college out there whenever they do homecoming week, my friend. Karen Crow knocks off New Iberia Senior High, 18-0. Gary with a bold take Wednesday night, thought Nish would have a shot to win this game. Well, it doesn't look so bad after all when it's only an 18-0 ball game here. Karen Crow wins it, gets their first win of the season with an 18-0 win. Nish falls to 3-2. Karen Crow 1-4. Rain with a little statement win of themselves, knocking off Northside 55-32. The guy over there, Mr. Willer, he can do it all. Returning kicks, lining up in the quarterback position, catching passes, even playing a little defense. What he cannot do, he will take this Rain football team, and gonna be a good Wolf football team going into playoff time, knowing they will be battle tested with this strong district that they play in. Acadiana, no problems with Sulphur, 45-0. They roll to their third straight shutout. Elton also rolls at home to a 4-1 start, 46-14 victory over Hanson Memorial. Great backfield there for Elton, and they're playing some really good football through 5 weeks. Elton, we talked about Grand Lake earlier. Elton could be the favorite in this district right now, setting up a huge Week 8 showdown with Basile, and then you know Week 9 looms with Grand Lake. So Elton right now, a 4-1 start, sensational start for Elton. Iowa, happy homecoming, guys, over there, back in their home stadium, and they were on cruise control to their 4th victory of the season, 54-8. Congratulations to Coach Johns and that entire program with a homecoming victory. Brobridge falls to 0-5 after they lose to Northlake Christian 28-7. Really thought Brobridge could get this victory on Friday, but it seems like the injuries have continued to pile up over there. Basile came back and won this game over Ville Platte 20-11. Ville Platte falls to 0-5, and Basile goes to 3-2. Trenches late. Hardy with the dagger at the end. Congratulations to the Basile Bearcats. Phenomenal road win for the guys, and they got a home game next week with Maryville. Could very well find their 4th win of the season. Yes. Crowley and Ville Platte was a good game. Crowley is now 4-1. Yes. What else we have here? Abbeville, another team that I'm surprised with that have failed to 0-5. They lose to LaGrange 21-36. But congratulations, LaGrange. Phenomenal start to the season, 4-1. I'm not sure if they won more than 2 or 3 games a year ago, but already matched it and more. So year 2 over there for Coach, went back to his alma mater, and he's doing tremendous work over there, LaGrange. They're 4-1, and I'm super stoked for that program. Check this one out. The comeback of the century is what the newspaper headlines will read when Livonia and Catholic Appointed P met on Friday. Livonia jumped out to a 26-0 lead for homecoming night, and they seemed like it was going to be Livonia Wildcats night. And Catholic Appointed, they never panicked. They never threw in the towel. They never put their heads down. All they did was fight for 4 quarters, 48 minutes, and that speaks volumes to Coach Carruth and what he's installed into that program, that no matter what the scoreboard says, no matter how much time is on the clock, we're going to play for 48 minutes, and whatever the score says at the end of it, we're going to have to live with it. And on Friday night, down 26-0, they come storming all the way back, spoil homecoming, and win 42-34. What a win for Coach Carruth's group and the Catholic Appointed Hornets. Man, 26-0 and come storming all the way back. What a win. Centerville cruises over Gaydon 56-8. Avoyles cruises over Lakeview 44-0. Turlings cruises over Como 48-13. Lafayette Renaissance, no problems with Beauchene. Happy homecoming to Lafayette Renaissance, 55-7. Lake Arthur goes on the road and gets a win, 42-0. And how about North Central Hurricanes with the 36-26 victory over Birchman's Academy? Happy homecoming, North Central. I know that win feels extra special. What else we got? Yes. How do you give up 42 in the second half? Yes. Agreed. But speaks volumes to the other side for not quitting. Enoch says could be a scary trend down the road if Catholic Appointed keeps trailing early in games. And then Hayden says Ruston dominating the #1 team in Texas 4A was even more eye-opening than the others. I wish Ruston and Carr could play each other. I'm with you when you're right, my man. All right, so that is some scores from around the state of Louisiana for week 5. You saw some dandies in that one. You saw some surprises. You saw some homecomings spoiled. We had some good ones on Thursday and Friday with Crawley getting a win over Mamou and Kinder getting a win over Logan Sports. So week 5, you put a check by it, was a really good week. Games of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go games of the night at this time that I chose. I chose 6 of them, okay? I think a Ouachita Parish over Franklin Parish deserves game of the night caliber after Ouachita Parish and beats undefeated Franklin Parish by 4 in a district, I was reading that, in a classic over here in week 5. Cecilia over Notre Dame, shootout for the ages. Cecilia wins 1 by 5 over Notre Dame on the road. Airline beating Captain Shreve 69-68. How could that one not be game of the night? Iota over Church Point. Seems like it's a yearly trend. When these two teams meet, it's always game of the night caliber. ERAF knocking off undefeated Westlake by 1 point on the road. Deserves game of the night caliber. And then St. Ed's knocking off Opelousas Catholic, spoiling homecoming, getting in the driver's seat for a district. Deserves game of the night. What a shootout that was, and what a finish to that ball game. St. Ed's with a game-sealing interception inside the red zone as Opelousas Catholic went for the win. What a game. Upsets of the night. How about North Central knocking off Birchman's? We'll give it upset of the night, and congratulations to North Central. Ouachita Parish knocking off undefeated Franklin Parish. They were the talk of the state the last couple weeks. Ouachita Parish gets a big-time win. And then ERAF knocking off undefeated Westlake on the road by 1. I'll give it upsets of the night. Not really many crazy upsets this week, but those 3 will align for myself. Yeah, it was definitely in there, but 2 undefeateds went at it. UTL Statement Win of the Week. I got to go with 5 of them. I will give it to Edna Carr over St. Aug. Dominating win, really putting the state on notice, saying we're going for the state title and we're going to prove it here in week 5. So that is a statement win of the week. Vermilion Catholic going on the road, knocking off Riverside is a statement win after the semifinal loss a year ago to go and really control this one, dominate Riverside, and break records that night. Lutcher over Vanderbilt Catholic. I'll give it a statement win of the night because two undefeated's going at it, and Lutcher shuts them out and blows them out in this one. So statement win of the night. Southside over Barb. I'll give a statement win of the night. Barb was playing some really good football. Southside, no problems. They roll in that one, and I'll give St. Ed's over Opelousas Catholic. To be the district champ, you got to go knock off the district champ in OC. The last 3 years, I believe they were Troy, it is a statement win of the week. I'm not arguing with you about it. St. Ed's over Opelousas Catholic, knocking off is a statement win to go put the district on notice. Helmet stickers of the week. I will give it starting out Thursday night. Crawley gets a big win over Mamou. We covered that game. I'm giving out a helmet sticker to Crawley. Friday night, Kinder knocks off Logansport live on Under the Lights. They also get helmet sticker of the night. Holly's lock of the week gets a helmet sticker. Sam Houston over Lafayette. St. Ed's knocking off Opelousas Catholic gets a helmet sticker. And North Central finally getting a big time win for homecoming. They get helmet sticker number 5. So that is a look at helmet stickers of the week. Let's get you excited for week 6, ladies and gentlemen. ERAF at the Quincy, 4-1 versus 5-0. Gonna be a good one. Madison Prep, Southern Lab meet next week. Lafayette Christian Academy and Lafayette Renaissance will meet next week. This one will have storylines written all over it all week long. 5-0 Minden will head into North DeSoto next week. Can they stay undefeated? Edna Carr and Brother Martin will clash. Archbishop Shaw will play St. James next week. Undefeated Parkway, undefeated Airline. 69-68 wasn't good enough for you this past week. This one right here will really shatter records of what scores were this past week. Undefeated Covington will play at undefeated Manderfield. That's going to be a good one. West Monroe will play at Alexandria Senior High. Can't wait for that one. 4-1 Leesville at 4-1 Iowa next week. Iowa's defense versus Xavier Ford. That's going to be a dandy. Gina and Marksville next week, ladies and gentlemen. Ruston, 5-0 at 4-1 Washita Parish. Hineville comes in undefeated. They're going to take on a 4-1 Thibodaux team. West Washita comes in undefeated. They're going to take on a 1-loss Franklin Parish team. Probably pissed off. So that one's going to be a dandy. 4-1 Crawley at 4-1 Iota next week. Two teams searching to go 3-0 in district play. Undefeated Faraday heads into 1-loss Mangum next week. Undefeated Lakeshore heads into 1-loss Franklinton next week. Good one. You got a 1-loss Bird versus I think it's a 1-loss Huntington or an undefeated Huntington. I could be wrong there. Opelousas Catholic and Westminster will meet there next week. St. Martin's Episcopal at Riverside next week. Two teams coming off of their first loss of the season. That one should be good football. Holy Cross and John Curtis next week. Lake Charles College Prep in Jennings, probably for the district title. Jesuit at St. Aug. Warren Easton at Rummel. Gives you a look into the future of week 6, ladies and gentlemen. Some more comments before we get on out of here. Troy says might be 90 to 89. I was thinking 84, 82. Is that reasonable next week? Let's see. Catholic League wide open right now. Should be some great ball games. Anybody have any questions for myself before we get on out of here? Final questions, thoughts, concerns, leave it in the chat. I'll do my darnest to answer them for you. Don't have Gary to give his final thoughts, so I'm trying to close this out the right way. Any questions for myself? Concerns, comments? Week 6 schedule should be posted by tonight. Trying to finalize some minor details. Shopify store setup. Yes, 628 fireworks to start this week. No one has anything for myself. We'll get on out of here and let you enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Remember, Pick Show Wednesday night, live from the studio here at Gary Swallows Taekwondo Martial Arts Building. It will be week 6 picks. We will talk a lot that night. We'll see who won week 5 picks. Probably will have that posted tonight. Thanks everyone for tuning in with us this evening. How'd I do? Not bad for a solo thing here. Thumbs up, thumbs down in the chat. If we pulled it off well as a solo here. There it is. So, not bad. So, I want to thank everyone for tuning in with us. My name is Jordan Taylor. This was Under the Lights. Congratulations to all the winners here in week 5. Thank you to the coaching staffs and administrations for allowing us to come to their stadiums. Just missing Gary's Wiles. Absolutely. Like I said, week 6 will be posted tonight. Keep an eye out on everything. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Week 5, close the door. We open the door to week 6. God bless each and every one of you. God bless high school football forever. UTL.